All right, are we good? We are. All right, Valerie Irwin, hello, The Wanderer, and Aussie Welsh. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me just check that I haven't got that stupid tweet from Stream Elements again. Right, okay. We'll just wait for a couple of more people to come in, and then we'll start. Aussie Welsh, how are you, bud? Now, I think the best way to do this is like this. What? Okay. Whew. Right. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so I'm wondering if Tony Clams is here. Just hang on a second, I'll just get this sorted. This was going to be mainly for Tony's benefit, as well as everyone else's. Let's go here. The Wanderer, I wish I had have discovered them a lot sooner because the amount of phones that I've killed. All right, so welcome everyone. Now, what we're going to do today is I'm going to show everyone my IRL streaming setup. Okay, so without further ado, I wonder how far off Tony is. We'll just wait till there's a couple more people in here and then we'll start. Another essential ingredient of live streaming, coffee. I gave it away for a while, but unfortunately, it's now back. So, right, so don't forget to like, famo. Let YouTube know what we're doing, okay? All right. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to do a live stream with the setup, okay? And then after the live stream, what we're going to do is we're going to edit the VOD, and then we're going to put it up as a proper VOD. I'm going to get someone to edit it now, okay? So, welcome to today's stream. Now, the first thing that I'm going to say before we go on with this VOD, all the views in this VOD are mine and mine only. I'm not being paid by anyone to do this live stream today, so I'm not sponsored by Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Prism and all the other software apps, okay? I'm a live streamer that has been live streaming since 2018, made a lot of mistakes on the way, have learnt from some of my mistakes, but you know, you can't help that if you know what I mean. And what I'm going to do today is I'm actually going to show you my actual live streaming setup. But the reason why there's been a delay with that, in the last month there's been so much new gear that's come out that helps you with your live streaming, okay, that I had to wait for it to come into stock before I could start doing it, right? So, I think the best way to start with is we need to dispel some of the myths that are associated with live streaming. Okay. Now, most platforms are allowing people to live stream on them at the moment. So whether it's YouTube that I'm on at the moment, or Twitch, which is the old platform, Facebook gaming, you can live stream on Instagram, Trovo, all of them. Now, Twitch was the platform we first started live streaming on. That's predominantly a gaming platform. And in fact, to be quite frank with you, most of the platforms are gaming platforms. They're not really leaning towards IRL streaming, but a lot of people are doing it. Okay. Now, on top of that, there's just over 10 million content creators on Twitch. There's over 50 million content creators on YouTube. Instagram and Trovo and Facebook aren't as high as YouTube. So the toughest platform to make it on is YouTube. They are making inroads into their live streaming, but it is still a little way behind. Okay. So the first thing that you need obviously to live stream is mobile phone coverage. Okay. So with your mobile phone coverage, if you can't get the download from the mobile, you can't convert that into Wi-Fi, or you can't use it directly to your phone, which is what I started out with. I just started out with an iPhone 6 Plus, I think, but quickly learnt that the battery life isn't best on the iPhones. And then once I worked through that, I moved to Android. The best phone that I've used to live stream with is the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra Note. It has 5,000 milliamperes of battery life. The lenses on here are absolutely second to none. Okay, and I really wish that this was available 4 years ago when we first started streaming, but more about that at the moment. So if you're a young streamer that's out there that's wanting to start live streaming, okay, and you're not partnered on any platform yet, my advice would be to you start live streaming on YouTube, Facebook and Twitch, right? And just see which platform suits you. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, okay? The main difference between affiliate and partner on the old platform is basically emotes and promotion, okay? So you don't really get taken seriously unless you've got that little purple tick next to your name. But as everyone's aware, we handed our partnership back and then left. And then once it was taken, we were able to live stream on another platform. We went to YouTube and got partnered within 3 months. Now look, with reference to live streaming, you must remember that when you're dealing with these platforms, you're not an employee of the platform, okay? You're under contract. So when you're a partner on Twitch or YouTube or whatever, you have an existing agreement that you usually sign up to, okay? So your local laws, you need to be absolutely full bottle on your local laws before you start streaming. So for example, here in Western Australia, okay, with being a partner on the old platform, I was virtually a subcontractor, okay? And when you're partnered, they take 50% of your income. On YouTube, it's slightly better. You end up with about 55% of your income the last time I checked, okay? And then on top of that, you've also got Facebook. Now, Facebook is really making big inroads into gaming. From what I've had it explained to me by other people that are on Facebook and partnered, you can be a Facebook partner and live comfortably enough to live in California, in America, which, you know, I don't know what that means. I don't know whether California's really expensive to live there, but that's what I've been told verbatim, okay? Now, look, without your mobile phone coverage, you don't have a stream. One of the best software apps that you can use on Android is the Australian Phone Towers app, but it's only a guide, right? And as the fact that it's only a guide, the only way you really find out whether you have the coverage to live stream, okay, is to go there, turn your phone on, run a speed test. It's the only way. Don't worry about what you see on a map, because I've had it that far out that many times. It's just caused so many dramas, okay? So before you go and live stream somewhere, you need to go and check your signal coverage, okay? So, as I've said to you, Android is the way to go for me. One of the biggest headaches with the iPhone that I found personally, whether it's the iPhone 6 Plus right up to the 12 that I had for about 2 days till I took it back and went, no thanks, right? Your battery life's important. The other thing is too, obviously, your coverage. Now, when it comes to running a live stream, okay, your download will virtually cost you an arm and a leg, because if you're streaming at 1080p for any given amount of time, okay, it will chew through your download considerably. If you streamed every day for 4 to 5 hours every day in a month, you would quite easily chew through 500 gig of download limit at 1080 pixels at 60 frames per second, okay? So my advice to you is streaming at 720p is not really too big a deal, as over 2/3 of users watch streams on mobiles now, and you can't really look at a phone screen and decipher whether it's 720 pixels or 1080 pixels, okay? Now, there aren't any mobile phone plans that give you enough download to be able to live stream from them. So what you need to do is you need to get yourself a modem. Now, this is the Netgear Nighthawk 2 modem, okay? Now, on Telstra, and in this live stream, once again, I'm just explaining to you my local issues that I have, and also I'm only dealing with the companies that I know, okay? So, best thing to do is go and sign up for a modem. Telstra has the best coverage in Western Australia, okay? Far better than Optus and far better than any of the other providers. The only one that sort of comes close is the Aldi mobile phone, right, on the prepaid. Now, don't listen to the advertising that you see on other platforms about Optus, you know, the new 5G for $1 a day. 5G at the moment is only found in metropolitan cities and the tourist areas, okay? And with that, it's of no interest to you if you're going to live stream outside of metropolitan areas, as you need 4G. So what you need to do is you need to change the settings on your Netgear modem to only have 4G, okay? Now, in the back of this modem, there's a little square piece of paper, right? That square piece of paper is like litmus paper. If that is any colour other than the pale white that you see there, okay, what it'll do is that will void your warranty. So, on these here, where did it go? I think I've thrown it out because I didn't need it. Let me have a look. Yeah. So what you do, and the first thing that you do always, right, is when you get your Netgear modem, don't get the ZTE modems, okay, because they overheat and cook just like the old ZTE phones. What you do, okay, is you take the backing off your modem, right, and you take the battery out and you run it from an external battery supply. Oh, it is Wanderer. And what that does is that allows you to run the modem and power the modem, from an external source. And all the battery does is it overheats, it cooks, and then it shuts itself down and restarts, okay? Oh, Wanderer, seriously, mate, the person that's done that ad is obviously being paid to do it. Like I said, I'm not being paid by Telstra, I'm not being paid by Optus, I'm not being paid by Streamlabs, Stream Elements, okay? So, I think one of the things that we need to do too is we need to establish a couple of things. There's a couple of things that go against you if you're in a hotter climate. Firstly, there is no electrical equipment that is designed to withstand the heat of Australia, and in some parts of America, okay? So you're constantly battling the heat, and everything always will overheat, especially when you've got a battery source associated with it. Now, the other thing is too, your coverage, right? You're sort of limited by your coverage, okay? So they're the two things that constantly go against you. Now, there's a few things that I would like to also clear up. There's a couple of myths with live streaming that you need to know. One of the biggest myths is that you need to get a backpack to be a live streamer, okay? A good backpack costs you about $4,000 US. I got given one by Twitch when I was on the old platform and had nothing but headaches with it, okay? And with your encoder in the backpack, basically what it does is it has two of these modems in there. One's got a Telstra card in it, the other one's got an Optus card. And then on the actual encoder, it's got a couple of other modems that I think in the old days it was it Verizon from America? They had an international SIM card for $10 a day, you got unlimited data, right? And what that did was that allowed the encoder just to flicker between all the modems and pick up the one that gave it the best signal, okay? But there were lots of things that happened with that, but we won't go into it. So, the other thing is too, backpacks aren't waterproof. Now, a lot of people are trying to figure out how to waterproof backpacks, right? Let me show you the easiest way for $15 from Bunnings how to do that. And it's really technical and really just, you know, over the top, and you spend a lot of time researching this, right? And basically, this is how you waterproof your modem. Now, this will also overheat, but not as badly as it would as if it was in a backpack. All right, so there you go. I've now waterproofed my modem. I've now waterproofed my power supply. The other trick that I recommend for you too, okay, is just get yourself a little bit of electrical tape. Electrical tape's your friend when you live stream, because with electrical tape, what it allows you to do is it allows you to keep connections together on all your equipment. And even if things get a bit rough or you're driving over, you know, rough areas and your modem and your power supply bounce, they'll disconnect and you lose your stream, okay? Now, on top of that, okay, if you want to seriously stream IRL, you need 3 phones, right? So I have my old S20 Ultra Note that I'm streaming out of at the moment. So just picture that as your streaming phone. So what you do is you have one phone to live stream from that's connected to your modem. Then that way you turn off the mobile data and just connect it to your modem, okay? Now, the other thing is too, you've got a second phone here that you want to read the chat from, okay? So with that, what you do is you buy yourself a little wrist mount, okay, like this. That goes onto your wrist like so, right? And then what you do is you just put the phone in here, okay? Like so. There's lots of wrist mounts out there. This is one that you have. I think this one Shook gave me actually. But anyway. Right, so that's your wrist mount. Right, and with this you can turn the phone however you want it. Okay, and the other one is if you're on a platform and you really want to push your sound alerts and that sort of stuff, because sound alerts is what a lot of streamers use to generate income. That's why you'll go to their stream and you'll have a list a mile long of over 100 or 200 sound alerts, so that they get people to cheer bits to use the sound alerts or donate. All right, so the third phone you need is one that is connected to the modem as well, and it's also connected to a Bluetooth microphone. All right, so you've got 3 something like that, Cal. So what you do is you have 3 phones. This one to stream with, okay, this one to read chat, and this one to connect to your Bluetooth microphone. All right, that's if you want to go really high tech. Now, the best software app to connect a phone to a Bluetooth that can actually do text to speech and also your alerts is IRL chat, okay? Just go to the IRL chat website and it'll show you how to go through that, and you can go to the University of YouTube, okay, and it'll show you how to do that, okay. Now, the most important thing when you stream, once you've worked through all of that, okay, is don't ever judge your streaming ability by pixels or algorithm, right, or numbers. So you shouldn't change as a streamer depending on how many numbers you have on your screen, okay? It's not really important because that should not change your content. Your content should be constant right the way through when you do things, all right? Now, as I've said before, you know, pixels aren't really that big a deal between 720 and 1080 on a phone. If you've got someone that's on a screen and that sort of stuff, you know, there might be an issue there, but either way, they're still going to be able to see your stream clearly. Your most important thing is audio, okay? Rode are a great Australian company, and it's very rare to be able to promote Australian-made products, but I've been using Rode for a couple of years now, and it took the content on the streams to another level, okay? With your Rode microphones, this one's a transmitter, this one's the receiver. You plug the receiver into a Rode SC7 fitting, which has got the audio jack on it. Now, most phones are Bluetooth now, so you'll have no audio jack on these. The way you fix that, okay, is you buy yourself a USB-C audio and charge adapter. Let me show you how this works, right? So what happens is with this, okay, is this little gadget here, which is the same one that I've got in my box here, which I'll just bring out, okay? Let's just bring this in here. So this is my actual streaming equipment. Hey, I'm Resist, how are you, bud? This is my actual streaming equipment that you see me drag around everywhere with my stream. Okay, so as you can see, this is all real, fam. All right, there's no mucking around here. There's no funny business, right? So, excellent. Right, now, I need to get another SC7, but that's okay. Here we go. Right, so this is our little bag of tricks here, fam. Okay, so what we have here, this is my old worn out one. I'm resistant Mancy. So this is my old worn out SC7. I had to put a new one on there, right? So with your Rode microphones, you won't be able to plug this into your phone. You need an adapter. This is a USB-C adapter with audio and charge. So I'll show you how this works. So what you do is, right, you plug this into your Rode receiver. That plugs into your adapter, and then you plug this into your phone. Now this allows me the luxury, right, of while that's still working, okay, I can actually charge my phone from an external power supply. Oh, you're welcome, I'm Resist. So at the moment, if I turn the camera around and showed you, this is the exact same setup that I have on my phone. So there's the Rode lapel. Now, this is, forgive me, this is a, oh, you're welcome, Wanderer. This is the single channel Rode microphone, because when they say single channel, there's one receiver, right? This is the dual channel receiver, okay? So, this is the Rode Wireless Go 2. Absolutely phenomenal invention, okay? And this takes your content to another level again, as what happens is you put that, which one is it? You put that on your phone, you put one of these on the front of your chest, one of these on the back of your shirt, and any way you turn, you've always got your signal going to the microphone, okay? And what this does is this takes two channels of audio and transforms it into one so that you have even better audio, okay? Right? So that's the Rode Wireless Go 2. When I bought this from the Jerry Gibbs camera house, it was $356 Australian, okay? And these are your little Rode little Duvalakis that you saw the little fur thing on there. If you get yourself a bit of bucktail or fox fur or whatever and tape that over your microphone, you can get a compressor and blow it over there. There'll be no wind noise, or it'll reduce it dramatically, okay? All right. So as with this one too, what you need to do as well, when you put the receiver on you like this, you connect that to the Rode Lavalier Go, right? So basically this has a pop shield on it which reduces wind noise. That's my receiver, that's the cable that's linked to that. Don't have it too close to you, okay? Hey Benton, how are you? Don't have it too close to you, because what'll happen is you'll pick up your breathing, right? And then just put it on your sort of like here as I've got it. Try and have it so it's not touching any material. It's got air flowing around it, all right? And what that will do is that will allow you to basically have crisp, clear audio, okay? Now what I'll do too here, when it comes to charging your, now remember, so that's the, where did I put it? That's the Signet USB-C audio and charge adapter. You get them from JB Hi-Fi for about $40, right? Okay. Now, on top of that, hey there Lumify. Now, what we have here, okay, is these are all the power banks that I carry with me at all times, right? Whoops, there goes another microphone. All right, so these are all Signets apart from a couple of here, which is the OtterBox. There were no Signets left, so I bought the OtterBox. So what's happened is in the last 2 or 3 months, right, this is a 20K charger, that's a 20K charger as well, that's a 27,000 and that's a 15,000, okay? So what's happened is Signet, in their infinite wisdom, have bought out a 30,000 milliampere power bank. Wish they'd have bought that out 4 years ago as well, okay? That has multiple set fittings on it in both USB-A and USB-C, okay? Now, initially when you bought these, what they did is they had little dots down the side of the power bank to let you know as it was going flat. Whoops, right. Now, then they went to a digital display, so I don't know whether you can see that, that says 100%. These are invaluable, okay? You are able to see exactly how much charge you have left. It doesn't chew that much extra power, okay? And what that does is that allows you to, well, basically always have the option of charging your phone, microphone, whatever, modem, okay, with these. Now, prior to these 30,000 milliampere power banks coming out for $100, the biggest one you could get was the 27,000 milliampere. Now, that was about $180 when they first came out, okay? Don't do that. For starters, it takes a very long time to charge and expensive. So, for $80, you can get yourself a 20,000 milliampere power bank. So just think that these two are the same. Buy yourself 2 of these for $160. You've got 40,000 milliampere of power compared to that, okay? This one here, right, this can charge an iPhone or an Android phone up to 7.5 times, they say, so it's probably 6 or whatever, right, depending on the heat. And that's going to be the thing that's going to save you. Now, as we go in further, okay, initially we had USB-A to USB-C fittings, right, or the other ones, so they look something like this, okay? So this is USB-A. Hey, UKC Fishing with Big Dan. How are you, bud? So that's a USB-A, and that's the USB-C, okay? Then USB-C to USB-C came out. This will charge a phone 6 times quicker than this, from what I've been told, right? But that's only a USB 2.0 cable. What you need to do, right, and these are a little bit more expensive, they will save your bacon time and time again when you're live streaming. You need to get an armoured USB-C to USB-C cable, a USB 3.1, okay? So this can charge at 5 amperes, so it's great for laptops, right? You can do 100 bits per second with your turbo download, right? And it's got a 5-year warranty. It is a little bit more expensive, all right? But once again, when it comes to live streaming, okay, you've got to be able to charge everything quickly. So these are good, right? My advice, when you get your modem, because it doesn't draw that much power, I can leave a modem for 4 days running on a single power bank of 20,000 milliampere because it's not actually charging the battery, it's drawing minimal power from the power bank, okay? So what you do is just use a USB-A to the power bank and plug that into the USB-C fitting of your modem, okay? But when it comes to phones and what have you, all right, what you need to do is you need to be able to charge everything quickly. So what I did is I went out and bought 3 of these today, right? And when I bought 3 of these, what it does is it actually removes a lot of your headaches because you can charge your modems, charge your phones, and it'll do it really quickly, okay? And look, these are only 1 metre lengths. I couldn't find the 2 metre lengths, okay? So what I'll do is I'll just show you. Remember when I said you can charge your phone and still use the microphone? These microphones have USB-C points on them there, okay? You can only charge the phone or the microphone. You can't do both at the same time, right? So with this here, that's your C fitting there. That's your C fitting there, okay? So what will happen is, right, that's going to charge my phone now while I'm using the microphone, okay? And that's on fast charge or on super fast charge, okay? So that will be, what are we? We're at about 77% battery life, so it's only going to be 30 minutes till it's full out of a power bank, which is about the same. Hey Shaky Fish, how are you? This is about the same that you'll get out of your wall, okay? So once again, that's the USB-C. Hang on. There's so many things to remember, fam. That's the USB-C audio and charge adapter, okay? So remember, that goes into your phone. That goes into your Rode microphone with the SC7 fitting there, okay? And that is the little C port where you can charge it, okay? Now, in terms of valuable additions to streaming equipment, Famo, right, one of the most important and valuable additions to my equipment has been the laptop, all right? Now, with the laptop, you have actually got other fittings for your laptop. A bit of friendly advice, whenever you're putting together an IRL pack like this, okay, what you need to do is you need to make sure that all your electrical stuff is in watertight bags. I'm just using sandwich bags there. That's enough for now, okay? Yes, the Wanderer, but if you use the USB-C fitting, bud, what it does is it actually eliminates that. So, what we have here, okay, is we have the little analogic, what are we? These are like little hyperdrives. So I can plug this into my computer, right? And I can link everything to my computer. If I wanted to, I could also plug this into my phone, okay? Now with this, I chuck that into the computer. I can link my modem with a power over Ethernet cable to the modem, so it's got direct link to it, okay? I've got all my USB-A fittings, I've got my HDMI cable, I've got my memory card that I can put in there, my mini memory card or whatever, and I can actually charge my laptop from here while it's working, fam. So this is something else that you need to use that will make your life easy, okay? And all it does is it just removes one more thing that can go wrong, if you know where I'm coming from, okay? And this one here, that's just one that's not as advanced, okay? So this is the UCF Purge SGR, right? Once again, plug that into your laptop, have that, you can plug everything else into here, you can charge your laptop at the same time, and it just gives you a little bit of freedom. Now, since I've been using my laptop for my live streaming, okay, it has made life so much easier, okay? So what you can do is you can watch your chat with the laptop. The only problem is they're not very resistant to water and salt, as I found, okay? All right, now look, people, a lot of people bang on about, oh yeah, you know, I've got the clearest stream and all that sort of stuff. You don't need to worry about that, okay? Like I said, 2/3 of your live streams or even YouTube and that are watched on mobiles as a rule of thumb, right? So you can't really tell the difference between 720 and 1080p, okay? Audio needs to be spot on, all right? Above all else, your audio needs to be spot on. People need to be able to hear you. So if you're going to stream for 6 or 7 hours in a day, no one's going to sit there and watch you for 6 or 7 hours unless they're, you know, younger without too many other things to do. And let's face it, no one's really that interesting, okay? But what they will do is they'll put the phone down, and as long as they can hear you and what you're saying, they don't need to be looking at you, okay? Now, the other thing is too, if you're going to live stream, you need to be very careful of your intellectual property, okay? So one thing you need to do before you start live streaming, and I can speak with this from experience, there are people on various social platforms that monitor the progress of streamers, okay? And what they'll do is they can see that a streamer's starting to go places in terms of followership, viewership, numbers and that sort of stuff. And I know this for a fact because I know people that have had this happen to them, right? What they'll do is they'll go in and they'll register that person's username and put a trademark on it, right? And then that way they can take that person legally for using something that's trademarked. So what you need to do is you need to sit down and figure out what you want to achieve from your streaming. If you can see yourself doing it full time and wanting to turn it into a career, right, well, you need to protect your intellectual property. So trademark your username, you know what I'm saying, trademark your apparel, and don't make the mistake, right, of blurting out to everyone new ideas that you've got and that sort of stuff before you do them. On the old platform, one thing that Twitch does, which I found frustrating, is they tell their partnered streamers to go and watch other people stream, because there's one thing that they're interested in, okay? And they're interested in money. So take the example, what was that game that all the streamers were playing? Not the Fall Guy. What was it? There was a game that they were playing with the little animated characters, and they're all on a ship, and then, you know, it's like the old murder stories where someone kept getting knocked off, right? I can't remember what it's called. Look at how popular that game became. Everybody started playing it, and now not too many people play it now, okay? Oh, thanks, The Wanderer. So, one thing that you need to do is you need to decide exactly what you want to do, right? So, I mean, I can speak from my experience. Someone registered my username overseas, even though they're not meant to be able to do it, they did, right? And all they were trying to do was just cause trouble. Now, with that, you know, unfortunately, the PC culture at best is toxic. I'll be straight up with you. The most toxic streaming platform out there is Twitch, right? I don't know about the other... yeah, Among Us. That's right, Shaky Fist. Among Us. Well done, mate. Yeah, I'm not up with it, right? So yeah, everyone played it. Everybody get on there. All the big streamers played it. They made millions, right? So, you know, if you've got a great new idea that you want to do in IRL, okay, yeah, even Sea of Thieves, hey baby blue, right? Don't tell anyone your dreams, okay? Because someone else there will get it, they'll run with it, and they'll try and make it their own, all right? So, you know, that's just how they go. Now, one thing I forgot to mention before is phone mounts, okay? We'll just backtrack a bit. This is a Joby, or Jobby if you're Scottish, tripod mount. Your best friend when you live stream a Manfrotto phone mount. So they have a universal fitting on the top. What this does is that goes in there, right, like so. It's got the little level, and then what you do when you want to live stream is, ta-da, right, that's how you live stream. Hang everything else off there. That's what I've been using the whole time I've been streaming with the phone, okay? And the good thing about these is you can actually modify these to fit any shape. See, so if you've got a tree branch, or if you've got, I don't know, a fence post, or you've got a motorbike, or you've got whatever, with these little octopus legs, okay, you can mould them, right, to any shape and any angle. See, you just move it like that and it's instant, and all the rest of the stuff, right, ta-da, and then that allows you to live stream virtually anywhere, okay? And that's what I've been using for most of the time that I've been live streaming, fam. So, does anybody have any questions? I know Iron Resist wants to start streaming IRL. Shaky Fish sounds like he does. Dan, I don't know whether Tony Clams is in here, right? I'm hoping so. So if you've got any questions, just ask them now, famo. Yeah, and never forget coffee is an essential streaming ingredient. Yeah, Shaky Fish, there's hundreds of them now. They do them for kayak, boat seats and all the rest of it. But you can't really beat the old, the octopus legs as they call them, mate, because you can actually stream this from anywhere. I haven't bothered to go out. I mean, I have a tripod as well, but the actual fact is tripods are a little bit too big and bulky. On Bitrate, Soccerloft, how are you? Why is that? I am Resist. You don't need to cancel your Twitch affiliate, mate. You can still live stream to other platforms, right? Don't cancel your Twitch affiliate. You've worked too hard for it. Keep affiliate. You can only stream on that platform if you're partnered, right? But if you're on other platforms, mate, don't stress about it because the affiliate is okay. They won't get you in trouble for that, okay? Right. The other thing is too, family, you can't have enough storage, right? So I went into a few places and asked questions about, you know, boxes and that sort of stuff for storing electrical equipment, right? 40 bucks, went down to Bunnings, a Tactics toolbox, right? With the lockable front for when you travel, right here, boom, okay, right, saves you hundreds. Right, you don't need to go to that extent, okay? So, bitrate. Now, I was initially doing an introductory live stream today on how to live stream IRL, but what we'll do is, okay, we'll talk about software applications. You have Streamlabs, you have Stream Elements, you have Prism, you have a few others that if you, I mean, you have a few others that you can use, but I'm only familiar with those three. Right, so Prism heats your phone, and from my experience, and this is only my experience, I've had the phone cook a couple of times with Prism, and also Prism said, oh yeah, you can multi-stream. Then I went to try it, it's only in beta format and you can't, so I don't use Prism because of that. Stream Elements are still in beta stage, right? And Prism and Stream Elements, you can't flick through all the cameras on your phone. Oh, Iron Resist, thanks, mate. It's only instant, bud. Right, I've gone off drinking the bought stuff because of that reason. But look, Thank you very much for your support, Resist. I appreciate that, mate. But like I always say, I just hope you and your family are looked after first, all right? So Stream Elements heats your phone as well. So I don't use Stream Elements. Now, I use Streamlabs, okay? Now, the maximum bit rate, okay, that you can live stream on Twitch is 8,300 kilobits per second, right? So set your stream to 8,299 or 8,000 on Streamlabs, okay? But if you're on the computer, set it to 8,299, the absolute limit. You'll be able to stream 60 frames per second at 1080p beautifully, okay? Thanks, Resist. If you're going to stream 720p, you only need about 2,500, but I'd do like, there's a 3,870 kilobits per second. Just set your frame rate to 30 kilobits per second for 720, and you'll use significantly less download on your modem when you're doing it, okay? And then on top of that, right, me personally, when I live stream on Streamlabs, what I was going to do, I was going to get the Samsung. Yeah, I was going to get the Samsung screen share and do a little VOD on settings for live streaming and actually show you on the phone, on the computer, because it's a bit silly to try and do it on here. So with Streamlabs, what you need to do is, if you want to stream 1080p, 60 frames per second, okay, you'd need to virtually set it, I set it to 8,000 kilobits per second, 60 frames per second, all right? And Soccerloft, I'm not familiar with Larix, so I can't comment. But Streamlabs is an approved software for YouTube, Facebook, and also Twitch. Now, multi-streaming is another myth with live streaming. Streamlabs make a lot of money out of multi-streaming, but what they don't tell you is you can't run two chats at the same time. If you're streaming to, say, Twitch and Facebook, you'll have a Twitch chat, but you have to get a separate device on your Facebook to be able to read the Facebook chat, okay? So, you know, little things like that that make all the difference. My advice is, it's about $150 Australian a year, which is just expensive and just, you know, it's a lot of money, okay? But if you're wanting to get serious about your streaming, you don't necessarily have to, you know, multi-stream, but what it does is it allows you to stay connected and stream for a lot longer, because recently I've had streams where I've lost the stream after a couple of hours and it's dropped me down to 244 pixels on YouTube, which is an absolute waste of time and just an insult to the viewers, okay? Now, the other thing is too, fam, what I'm going to suggest, if you want to get partnered on any, if you want to get partnered on any social media platform, there's 3 things you can do that'll get you partnered, right? Fishing's the most popular sport on the planet, okay? And if you have a look at some of the platforms out there, you know, if you are in a part of the world like Queensland in Australia and northern New South Wales and up, or say Florida in America, or South America and that sort of stuff, and you have flamboyant fish species and that sort of thing, and you have reception, right, start live streaming fishing and you'll be surprised at how quickly you'll get partnered, right? On top of that, lifestyle's now becoming increasingly popular, okay? And also survival stream seems to be working. So, you know, I was stuck on a desert island for 3 days and I could only eat what I caught, right? They're really popular on YouTube in VOD format. If you could figure out how to live stream that, okay? And you look at 2 of the biggest West Australian streamers, not streamers or VOD producers in the world, like Youngbloods and Giddo's Adventures. Those guys are next level. Your most important thing when you stream is consistency, okay? That's why I've been using, you know, various platforms to continually just tickle the algorithm every day. And, you know, I mean, we're at the stage now where we're going to start trying to get our stream to another level. So I've got to get artwork, design and all that sort of stuff. I wasn't going to do that early on until we figured out exactly how we were going to go with it, right? But what you see today is what I actually use, as you can see with my power banks and that sort of stuff, right? My power banks and that ability to charge your phone is everything. So see this with the cable and that sort of stuff, that's nice, right? And it'll work for your modem and that sort of thing. Ooh, I'm gonna have to call this Beefy after Beefy Botham, I think, right? So these new 30,000 milliampere power banks, right, have 2 USB-A's and 2 USB-C's on them, okay? Right, so my advice to you is just get yourself an old power bank like this that doesn't have the digital display. Use that for your modem, right? But when you're charging phones and microphones and batteries and all the rest of the stuff, right, make sure that you can see how much charge you have left. Because the other thing is too, right, the hotter your phone gets, the quicker it loses charge, right? Hey, TX Trader Dave, how are you, bud? Thanks, mate. Yeah, look, one thing with our community, Dave, is, you know, we're real, mate. I have no problems failing live on stream because it just adds to the humanitarian side of the stream, you know, and I could go to turn off this camera now and then trip over the table, wipe out the laptop, wipe out everything on the table, dong my head on the chair, but at least it's live, you know. So, oh, yeah, but Wanderer, you can't use that to detract from the fact that they have such unique content, and also from the fact that the content that they have is consistent, okay? And he's at that level with his live streaming now that he's sort of starting to delve into his life a bit, you know? And I mean, he's, you know, worked very hard to achieve what he has, and you can only wish success upon him. And look, I actually messaged them a while ago. There's a lot of people on YouTube now that are ripping off their logo. And I sent them the link to a channel that had a logo very similar to the Youngbloods and also a name very similar to the Youngbloods. And that's where they're at, fam, you know? And, you know, it's just one of those things, isn't it? I mean, like I've said, what I'm doing here is, this is just a basic, introduction to IRL. The advanced introduction to IRL would blow your mind because I can get signal 10 kilometres offshore in a boat, and I know how to do that, but I'm not going to show that yet. I'll do the, yeah, I don't know what that is, mate, but look, you know, we want to be up there with our live streaming in the next 3 years, fam, and also our VODs on YouTube, okay? You know, I've got all these cables here, right? In here, look at this. So see all these cables? These are all different cables that I've had for different applications for God knows how long, right? The only one that you really need, famo, with this, right, is, where is it? So, that's my USB-A data cable, because it's blue. That one can stay, right? I've got 3 new cables now. Like I said, these are USB 3.1s. These ones, just turn it into a bird's nest, right? I'm going to throw them away. And now I have a lot less clutter in this box, okay? And the other thing is too, because these can charge at 5 amperes, when I have my 27,000 milliampere cable here, right? And boom, okay. Oh, let me, it would be Soccerloft, you know. Now, let me show you something too, a little trick. Usually when you go to charge your laptop, you're going to have headaches getting a big 27,000 milliampere power bank like this to register, okay? So what you do, whack it into your phone first, right? So it starts charging your phone. Then when you do that, then after doing that, plug that into your computer, right? And boom. And then there we go. It started charging, right? Don't do that. So what are we on? Stop it. All right, so that's fast charging, right? That'll be charged in no time. Okay, there we go. Right. Okay, so there we go, famo. So my advice to you is keep one power bank for your laptop, keep one power bank for your modem, and then the other power banks reserved for your phones, right? So if you've got 3 phones, make sure you have another 3 separate power banks. Don't kid yourself. It's signal and also recharging ability of your phones and your equipment that will save you when it comes to your live streaming, okay? I've had plenty of streams where I've had 1,500 people in there and the backpack died on me from the heat, right? So the other thing is too, with phones, and this is my preference over backpacks, I can zoom in and out on my phone at my leisure. Right, with backpacks, it's something else, okay? So the other thing is you've got to remember too, $4,000 initial purchase, $1,000 a month download, that's, 16,000 US, which is about 23,000 Australian. You can buy a really nice car with that, and that's exactly what I did. That's had the choice I had. I could either buy the backpack to live stream, or I could buy a car to basically use for everyday life and also live stream, right? So obviously I took the car option. With your equipment, buy yourself a couple of these, not just one, because they'll always wear out. With the Rode microphones, get yourself a couple of the SC7s, okay, because they'll wear out, you know what I mean? The lavalier mic here, or whatever, Geo from Rode, get yourself 3 of them because the jacks in them usually wear out, okay? But, it's just, yeah, I mean, I'm lucky because the community has supported me on the old platform and this platform. So what I did is I invested everything back into the stream, fam, right? I've made no money from streaming over the last couple of years, right? So, yeah, the accountant told me that the other day before he took his shoe off and started beating me around the head with it. But anyway, we've had a lot of fun. We've provided a lot of content and life's been great, okay? The other thing is too, remember that when you live stream, if you get any donations, right, all donations are tax deductible. They are only non-tax deductible when you're registered as a charity. And if you're a live streamer, you will not be able to get registered as a charity. And if you do try and get registered as a charity, it'll be treated as fraudulent, right? And you'll end up with a lot of trouble, okay? So yeah, remember all your donations are all taxable, okay? All right? So that's something else that you need to remember as well. So look, as I said, there's a lot of misinformation out there. You don't want to succumb to any of the misinformation, all right? Now, before we do anything, now, the other thing is too, you've got to switch on. I've been running a stream at 1080p for a little while now, so just excuse me for a second. I'm just going to plug this into my phone, and because I got the new cables today, this should charge a lot quicker. So I'm on 38% on my Samsung Galaxy. Right, so that's fast charging now, which is brilliant. These armoured cables are next level, fam. Right, now, the other thing is too, famo, right? If you're trying to charge your phone while you're streaming with a USB-A to USB-C fitting, half the time, depending on the cable you're using, it will actually still drop your battery charge while you're trying to charge it, okay? Not really Wanderer, because you've got a setting on your receiver that has 3 different levels of gain, right? So like I said, make sure you get your USB 3.1 cable, okay? All right, and then that way what that will do is that will ensure that you can actually charge the phone faster than you can use the charge that's going out of it, okay? So, do we have any questions from anyone? Thanks very much to the 17 people that have come in here. I'm going to be sending this off to get edited and put into a proper like video format. Okay, so yeah, the Wanderer, seriously, as soon as I bought the Rode lapel microphone, it took the content to another level, mate, purely. Oh, hey, Tony, how you going, bud? Yeah, you'll have to go back and watch the VOD, bud. Oh, what happened there? Interesting. Okay. I have no idea what the setting is on that, okay? Hey, Tony. Welcome, bud. All right, Famo. So if there's any questions that anyone wants to ask away, and then I'll just wind the stream up. Well, the Wanderer, that's how you do it, mate. So what you do is, like I said, that links to your modem, right? It's easier to live stream when all your phones are on the same network, okay? Some apps that you use, if you've got the phone on mobile and it's not on the same network as your modem, you can't really use them that well. Oh, sorry about that, Tony. I don't know what the story is, bud. I'll have a look at that, mate. Thanks for letting me know. So like I said, all your alerts on there, that's your live stream, and then this one here, right, you have on the wrist wrap to, you know, basically read your chat while you're doing things, okay? Sockoloft, most of your software apps have that, bud. Okay, so Streamlabs has it, but you have to pay for it. And look, to be quite fair with you, the Streamlabs Prime, the only real thing on there that's of any benefit is the reconnection feature. Okay, but in saying that, if you get your modem back on track quickly enough, you don't lose your connection anyway, right? And it just makes life a lot easier for you, you know? So, and I mean, Twitch has that in its settings, if you know where I'm coming from. And look, Famo, there's lots and lots of different things that you can use, right? So, let me show you another wrist. Okay, let me see what's in there. So, here we go. So, if you're on a motorbike or in a car, see this? This is a big suction cup, right? What that does, that'll stick to your windscreen. This is what I use to live stream when I'm in the four-wheel drive, okay? So that's your windscreen, or if you're on the tank of a motorbike and you can get suction, okay? Oh, you're right, Tony. Just ask, mate. Don't ever think that, buddy. Just ask, mate. That's what we're here for, bud. Right, so that's your like windscreen or motorbike tank adapter, right? Now this is another wrist, okay, guard there, right? What you need to do is you need to get the little fitting that goes into there. It's not that one, but it's one that goes into there that can have your fitting for the phone and the Manfrotto phone, okay? So yeah, just ask Tony. That's what this is for, mate. This is about you guys and girls, not me, right? The stream, look, with me, fam, we've always been community focused, right? And that's why a couple of times there, I think I let the community down with you know, people that we chose to support, but anyway, that's my beef, no one else's. All right, and yeah, but Sockoloft, the way you do that, mate, is you actually pay for a server, bud. Right, you say pay for a server, but if you go Streamlabs Prime, you can link it to an RTMP server, right? And then the way you can modify that is when you have an external server, you do everything on a program called TeamViewer, and TeamViewer is what allows you to set in your like be right back screen, or we're reconnecting and all the rest of the stuff, and then they factor it into your commands. But that's quite expensive, you know. And look, let's face it, if you lose the stream, just reconnect and start up again. I've done it 1,000 times and it saves you about $300, you know. I mean, most servers are $50 a month. That's $600 a year, you know. So, Tony, what happens is, mate, this is the best modem to buy, right, in Australia. I don't know about the States, but it should be the same. That's the Netgear MR5100. It's the Nighthawk 2, okay? Take the back plate off it and also take the battery out of it. And even just having it in the box, the front of it's nearly too hot to touch, right? If I had the battery in there, it would have cooked by now, all right? And yeah, you've just got to be able to take the battery out of your modem and run it on, just run it on an external power supply. Now with this 20,000 milliampere external power supply, that'll run that modem for 4 or 5 days, all right? Now, the big backpacks that they spend, you know, $4,000 US on, you can't waterproof them. But let me show you how to waterproof it for $15 from Bunnings, especially if you're going to be on a boat, Tony. It's a really technical and highly skillful process. Just ask anyone that's in PCs, right? So you go to Bunnings, spend $15 on a watertight box, or even if you go into the tackle stores, and for $15 I've just waterproofed the modem and the power supply, see? There you go. Throw it in the pool, throw it in the river, right? As long as it floats above the water, you'll still get Wi-Fi. All right? Oh, okay, well, do it like that, Soccerloft, okay? You're lucky, mate. You're one of the lucky ones. You're one of the informed ones, bud. Right. Ah, there we go. Did I just lose my cable? No, it's over there. Right. Oh, yeah, it depends, Soccerloft, but that's the advanced IRL. This is just a basic IRL, mate. This is just basically, you know, grab a phone, start streaming stuff, mate. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? So that's what we're basically doing here. Tony, what it is, mate, I think it's $55 a month. You get 400 gigabytes a month. We have Telstra in Australia. I don't know who you'd use in America, right? And yeah, so modems are cheap. In fact, if you go on a plan, you don't even have to buy the modem. Do you know what I mean? You just put it on a plan, you get your 400 or 500 gig a month, right? And then what you do from there is, I think it's, is it 3.78 gigabyte? I can't remember. I'll get the equation right, okay? Yeah, and then it just depends which network you go on. But my word of advice is try and get onto a network that's renowned for having coverage. So, for example, in Australia, we have Telstra, Optus, Vodafone, you know, Aldi Prepaid, and all the prepaid companies all lease the Telstra mobile network, okay? They have all the towers, so you won't get as good a coverage with Optus and Vodafone as you do with Telstra. A couple of years ago in some areas down south, they didn't have Vodafone for 2 or 3 weeks, you know? Yeah, I know what you mean, Soccerloft, but then all you need to do, bud, is just basically open it for 1 or 2 minutes and close it again. Most important thing, famo, never ever leave your modem or your phone in the sun. Always keep it in the shade. If you go into your camera stores, you can buy little 10-inch sheaths, right, that you can put a phone mount in that can actually protect your phone from the heat outside, but they are quite expensive for what they are, okay? All right, so I don't know about that, Soccerloft. Like I said, this is just basically what I use to live stream, fam. I've been promising this IRL stream for a long time, but we are going to turn it into a VOD, okay? Okay, well, if that's the case, Soccerloft, just go to Verizon, you know? And, yeah, this is what it is, mate. Look, when you watch streamers, right, the ones that bang on about equipment and say, oh, you know, oh, I'm going to save up for a backpack. If you're going to run a backpack, right, you need 1,000 subs a month just to run the backpack, okay? So at $5 US, right, that's $5,000. No, what do we figure out? 400 subs, sorry, 400 subs. So at $2.50 per sub, which is what they get when they're partnered or whatever, or affiliate or whatever, that's $1,000 US a month. So you need 400 subs just to run a backpack. It's a lot of money. Yeah, the biggest problem is, Tony, with the GoPro 10, bud, they only have 1,000 milliampere batteries, right? So you'll get an hour out of it. I looked at all the GoPros previously. That's why I went to a phone. and with the phone having 5,000 milliamperes battery, and it has the ability to recharge while you're using it, as I said. Okay. Well, here in Australia, the backpacks, it's about it was 1,000 last. I mean, I haven't looked at backpacks for over 12 months. It was $1,000 a month for download because they use international SIM cards in it, and Telstra and Optus SIM cards. That's a lot of money, Tony. All right, you might have it cheaper in America, but even at $2.50, right? What's that? 100. Well, that's virtually 140 or 150 subs just to run the backpack, mate. But you got to buy it as well, you know. So, yeah. So with the GoPro, mate, I avoided using the GoPro. I just went straight to phone. My personal recommendation, the Samsung S22 Ultra Note. Fantastic. All right. Absolutely fantastic. You can't beat it. Okay. That's the S20. This is the S22. Has the best camera lenses on the market. Has a fantastic battery life, and it has 512 gig of internal storage, so that gets my vote, you know. Yeah, so there you go. So anybody, Kyle Todd, how are you, bud? Any more questions from anyone, fam? If you have any more questions, just ask. That's what we're here for. Okay, Kyle, welcome, bud. We're just doing a how-to on IRL live streaming, matey. If I can offer some advice as well, right? Remember, when you get home, the first thing you do before anything else, even if you're busting to go to the toilet when you're a streamer, put everything on charge. Okay, before you do anything else, right? You know. $10 gig of data, mate. You can't do much with 10 gig of data, bud. You know that's. If you do a stream in 1080p Sockoloft, you'll use 10 gig of data within about the first, I don't know, hour or two. I mean, I haven't done too many streams on mine, right? I think we've only done... We've only done, a handful of streams halfway through this month, and I've used 104 gig already because we're doing it in 1080p, you know? So, yeah, I mean, mobile signal, download, you know, power banks and all the rest of it, you need to try and optimise those. But the thing is too, famo, like I said, streaming's an acid test. If you have the content, you'll make it. If you don't have the content, well, don't panic. It's okay to fail, you know? No, I think it's a bit more than that, Tony. I think it's about 3.7. No, you'd have to use at least 3,000 to 4,000 kilobits per second bitrate Sockoloft. Okay? So, yeah, you'd have to use that, mate, at 30 frames per second. 720p, 30 frames per second, 1080p, 60 frames per second. We're actually ready to live stream in 4K and 8K. I'm getting that set up at the moment. Oh, that's all right, Kyle. Just go back and watch it, bud. You know, I mean, we've got everything on here, fam. You know what I mean? This is everything. So, the Wanderer, they're the most affordable, bud, because what happens is, I mean, that's one of my old power banks. See how it's been taped and everything? Power banks get absolutely battered, mate. They're worse than luggage, the poor buggers, you know? And, I mean, if you come back as a power bank or a bait fish, you know that you've done something bad in life, you know? But I buy Signet because they're affordable. So, for example, that 27,000 milliampere was... No, that was not $180. It was $200. But I can get two 30,000 milliamp power banks for, you know, $100 each. So that's 60,000. They can recharge like a Samsung or an iPhone 7 or 7.5 times or whatever. That's worth its weight in gold, you know. I don't know, Kyle. This is the headache that I have, bud. Right? But I need to give it a try. Do you know what I mean? But when you convert it to Wi-Fi, right? Wi-Fi, you can use 4K. You can't do it on cell phone. Oh, you're welcome, Tony. I was going to do it sooner, mate, but then these came out, and then that came out, and then, you know, this other stuff came out. It's like, great, I'll do the VOD, and then within a week, the information that I've got is dead, you know? So, yeah, that's how it rolls, you know? So, yeah, and look, heat's your biggest killer, okay? The other thing is too, Tony, you're going to live stream from a boat. What you need to do, bud, is you need to get the mount that you're going to put the phone on, right? And then once you do that, then you have different positions on the boat that you can, like, you know, live stream from. What you need to do is, as you walk around the boat, you just put the phone on a different mount, okay? The next time we get a boat, we're going to have a really quite professional setup with motion sensors and motion detectors and all sorts of stuff that are going to make life pretty interesting on the boat, actually. But we're going to need to have someone to, like, you know, work the gear. If you're a streamer that has got, you know, a production crew, like a producer, a moderator, and you've got someone that does your artwork and your editing, well, you can bring someone out on the boat to follow you around and film you, right? But if you don't have that luxury, I mean, those sorts of people are in the top echelon of Twitch. They're, you know, like top 200, you know what I mean? So it's just one of those things, isn't it, you know? But, yeah, that's it. So is there any more questions that people would like to ask before we wind this up? And if you've got any questions, don't be shy to ask, fam, because that's what it's about, okay? Remember, like I said, we're always community focused and we like to share information and help out, all right? And I'm here for you guys and girls, so just ask, all right? And like I said, this will be getting edited into a VOD stage, so... Oh, it's already gone southwesterly. Luckily, I didn't go for a fish today. MR 5100, Tony, it's the Nighthawk 2. The reason why the Nighthawks are the ones they use in the backpacks is you take the battery out and you can put the back of the battery on again, right? Or the plate for the cover the battery, but I leave that out and just leave it in the box, mate. Okay? You'll have to go back and watch the VOD. Sorry, Kyle. All right, fam? And look, people, all we ask is just please tell everyone that you know about the stream and our community, okay? Now, I did say previously about intellectual property. You need to think seriously about how far you want to go with your streaming. How much data do I use on the stream? It depends. In 1080p, a lot resist, okay? What you use on the phone is different to what you use through the modem, okay? So if you've got 3 or 4 apparatuses on the modem, it obviously triples or quadruples, okay? So, oh, you're welcome, The Wanderer. And, yeah, you've just got to monitor that yourself. I'm in Australia. I don't know how it would work in America, right? So each area is different, okay? But like I said, your intellectual property is the next bastion of corruption, fam, right? If you're starting to get somewhere as a streamer on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, or whatever platform you're on, do yourself a favour, trademark your username and trademark your community name, as we have done, right? So our community is the OzFam. It is trademark registered. No one else can use it. And if they do, they're going to owe me a lot of money, right? You need to do that to protect yourself, okay? Because the PC culture, you know, that's where a lot of the cancel cultures come from. The other thing is too, right? I'm an Australian, okay? Words that we use here as terms of affection, like the C-bomb and the F-bomb, and a lot of those words too are a reference to character, especially the F-bomb and even the C-bomb, right? So in America, you call someone the F-bomb or the C-bomb that want to shoot you. Here it's like, you know, we just say it as a bit of a laugh. Do you know where I'm coming from? So, you know, it's, you know what I mean? It's just one of those things. So you've got to be able to, sort of differentiate it as well. The other thing is too, if you're in a stream, right? So for example, in Australia, right? If someone comes in and says, hey, do you vote Liberal or do you vote Labor? Don't answer that, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to bait you into a conversation. They're picking broad subjects. So if you answer yes or no, you're going to offend half your audience. Okay? That's what you need to be careful about. With trolls and that sort of stuff, people, don't acknowledge them at all, right? Just ban them or hide them from your channel. Don't even acknowledge them, all right? Because one thing that they'll do is come in and just try and wind you up, right? And if someone comes in and tries to rip you and that sort of stuff, ban, hide from channel. Don't even acknowledge the fact that they're there, right? And just don't worry about it. Never, ever, ever cut your nose off to spite your face to be desperate for viewers, okay? Well, Agent Cal Gibbs, that's the same as my family, mate. But you got to remember, don't make the mistake that every single person that is watching your stream has had the same upbringing as you, right? Because there's a lot that haven't, right? And that's a lot of them are trolls, all right? So you need to just be able to be professional. And look, with your communities, you've got two types of streamers. You've got streamers that are in a symbiotic relationship with their community, and the other ones that are in a parasitic relationship with their community, you know? So you just decide whichever one you are, and that's how you view it. But your community is a reflection of you, right? And there's an old saying, a fish always rots from the head. So it's just quite funny how a lot of communities that are fairly toxic, you know, have a fairly toxic sort of like streamer that they follow. The other thing is as well, with your streaming, don't make the mistake of thinking that people are your friends, right? Because unless you've had these people in your home or shaken hands with them and seen them and looked them in the eye, don't make the mistake of thinking that they're going to do the right thing by you. Half the time they're just trying to use you for their benefit, right? So, it is shaky fish, bud. But, you know, you've got to be careful, mate, because with new terms of service and this new wave of, you know, anti-bullying, anti-harassment and that sort of stuff, you just can't do it, mate. Now, your viewer and you as a streamer, you have a parasocial relationship, just like a lot of the artists out there with their fans, right? Oh, yeah, I know that, Valerie. But, I mean, you know, there's some parts of the world where, you know, they get offended by it. You know, I mean, even the F-bomb, you know, it was never intended in the early days to be a slur against someone's sexuality. It's a reference to someone, you know, of weak character, and it's not gender specific. It's just that nowadays with the cancel culture, they treat it as a slur and they're trying to hammer these people that use it. Oh, go away, you know. Well, the Wanderer, if you want someone that is able to do that for you, if you go to Twitter and use Evanurula, right? Evanurula on Twitter, that's the person that does all my artwork. Does an absolutely fantastic job and very affordable. If you're not an art person, don't waste your time. Just pay someone to do it, buddy. All right? All right, fam. Look, thank you very much for tuning in. Okay? Really appreciate the fact that you've given up your time to come in and watch. Like I said, I'm going to download this and send this off to be edited and turned into a proper YouTube format, something that I have no idea how to do, right? So look, a big hello to every other streamer in here and potential IRL streamer. I hope this has been really helpful for you. What I'm going to do is... Oh, I know what you mean, Valerie. I'm not either, but I live in Australia, mate. People swear much like going to Subway and ordering a 6-inch sub, right? I'm not a big fan of it. But when you live stream, fam, or you're doing VODs, always think that you've got someone watching you that wants to sponsor you, right? The less mainstream you are, the less chance you have of being sponsored. So if you're going to use the C-bomb, the F-bomb, all those bombs, right, you'll find it very hard to get sponsored, alrighty? Thank you, Sokoloft. Oh, you're welcome, Wanderer. Okay. And look, like I said, famo, above all else, we're real, okay? If I can offer a bit of friendly advice too, if you're going to start live streaming, just remember at the end of the day, it's your stream and your community. Like I said, don't ever bow just to get follows from people, right? Just do your own thing. If people like it, great. If they don't like it, still great, okay? And just be yourself, right? So like I said, the parasocial relationship. The other thing is too, one thing I can offer a bit of advice on, if you've got people that are big contributors to your stream, if you're after that sort of thing, right, be very wary of making major contributors on your stream your mods, because they'll think that they have some ownership and it will lead to conflict later, right? I am resist. I can't allow that one, bud. Right? Yeah, I can't allow that one. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Right? Oh, you're welcome, Sokolov. I'm a bit different, mate. I'm 52 years of age, bud. And I come from the have-nots. So to be able to have all this equipment and live stream and have what I have, it's, you know, a very rare luxury for me, mate. But you're welcome, Iron Resist. And look, like I said, mate, just use this as a reference. I'm not paid to do this. I'm not sponsored by anyone. I'm just sharing my experience. I've spent over $15,000 getting my live streaming gear going, guys and girls. 15K. Made a lot of mistakes along that way. 2 grand there, 100 there, 80, 80, 2. What's in there? You know, there's a grand there and all the rest of the stuff. But I chose to stream, right? So, you know, don't apologise, Resist. You know, we're Aussies, mate. You know what I'm saying? There's 1,000 different C-bombs here in Australia, bud. Yeah, but Shaky Fish, this is the thing, mate. Knowledge is timeless, bud. So, knowledge is around before me. It'll be here while I'm here. And then when I'm gone, it's still going to be here, mate. The more people that stream, the better it is for streaming in general. This year in Australia was the first year that live streaming viewing exceeded mainstream television. So there were more people watching live streams either on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, or they were watching streaming such as Netflix and all the other stuff than there were watching, you know, mainstream telly. And that really sent out alarm bells throughout most industries in Australia. Hey, thanks, Luke. I really appreciate that, bud. And look, we've had people in our community for 4 years, bud. You know, and we've always just catered for the community. I mean, like I said, mate, a lot of them do. And look, if I can offer another bit of advice too, Famo, most people that live stream, yeah. Look, most people that live stream are fame chasers, as they call them, fam, right? They're only in it for themselves. They always get filtered out eventually, right? So protect yourself a bit too. You know, just some platforms, all they're interested in is your money, okay? Right? That's all they're interested in is your money. Don't give it away willy-nilly. You know what I mean? Make sure you looked after first yourself before you give it to a total stranger, right? And you've got to remember, there's deception everywhere in life, you know what I mean? So look at all the scammers that ring up. Oh, hey, we're from your bank. We want to just go through your account. Sure you do, bud, right? And as I said previously, this is just my views and my views only, all right? So people, thank you very much. I hope this has been informative. Hopefully the VOD gets a bit of traction, you know. It'd be nice to get a bit of traction. And then as we start off our YouTube journey and all that sort of thing, right? And yeah, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just leave... Oh, yeah, I know, Resist. I was going through a bad patch then, mate. And then, you know, now I'm not. So it's all good. But... yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it, Famo? You know, that's a good thing about time. It sort of reveals everything. But, you know, life goes on either way. All right, Famo, thanks very much. Thanks for giving up your time to come in and watch. I hope this will make life easy for you into transition to IRL streaming. And on top of that, thank you very much for giving up your time to come in and watch, okay? So, I'm going to sign out now. Thank you. I might actually just play this YouTube VOD on Twitch. That would probably be a good idea, you know, so we can work from there. All right, bye for now. Thanks for the support, Famo. I assure you that I'm going to reward you with some really good content over it, okay? And, yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye for now.